Ladies and gentlemen, after some shaky discussions between the players, believe it or not, we actually have a full game ready to rock and roll here between SVIFT NA, the return of a very interesting intercontinental team, versus Velocity Esports, a recently sponsored team with some fat players. We're going to go right into the rosters, Marxist. Take it away. Which one do you want?
All right, well, I'll talk about SVIFT since they're at the top of the list here. We got 404 on Medic, Delpo on Demo, Garbuglio and High Five are going to be your soldiers. Slemnish is your scout of choice here because Tiger, the European sensation, has not appeared again. That would mark 2 weeks running. And so they are getting a scout du jour who has arrived in server, I hope soon.
Yes. And anyway, Velocity, the other team that we're going to be talking about now, is Bear the Medic, Jarrett on Demo for this one, Kryptonite and Marmalou as the soldiers, Knuckles the scout, and Shamu. This is this 3-person core once again. Velocity with Shamu, Bear, and what's his face, Marmalou. Once again, those 3 players are playing their 3rd season in a row, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That core right there.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty close to accurate. Your scout du jour appears to be Scissor, or at least a person aliased as Scissor. We will see. We're just gonna go on the assumption that it is actually Scissor, who has played several seasons of Invite, and I believe, if I remember my end of the season from last season drama correctly, was looking to take a bit of a break, but that break is over for tonight, or maybe forever. Who knows?
Yeah, he'll be filling in. And Jarrett. Oh no, I'm an idiot. Delpho is on SVIFT. I've gotten in my mind Delpho was playing on Velocity. That changed my whole dynamic. And I actually have a fun little tidbit just because I was talking to Delpo earlier this week about why he thinks they're going to beat Velocity. And his wordage, after some careful thought, was SVIFT is the more dedicated team.
That could be. Sometimes practice pays off, and sometimes people just show up and win games. So we'll see what's going to go down here.
Instance is going to happen here.
Yeah, we're on Metalworks here. So a map that I would say, although is not highly scrimmed, is pretty formalized in the way that it's played. You don't see a ton of variation out of how teams choose to approach this map. So it'll basically be a straight-up fight as far as strategy is concerned. We'll just see what the players do here, and if Scissors, the scout of the day, is up to snuff here after probably not having practiced a whole lot. But sometimes a break is all the body needs, so we shall see here. I hope we will get started shortly, because if you'll note from the start time on TFTV, we are running a bit late, but that's because of the roster situation over for SVIFT. So it will all be sorted out shortly, I hope, and we will get running here, and we'll get to actually cast TF2, bro.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we can talk about right now actually is the High Five on Soldier as opposed to his bread and butter, which is Scout, and then probably his secondary class, which is Demo. He's playing Soldier. How do you think that's going to be an impact? I mean, he's obviously a phenomenal player. That is not a question, but do you think High Five on Soldier is high impact enough, despite being of a different upbringing?
I don't think it's a huge, especially because he's playing the roamer class, it appears. Oh, yeah. So I would not be too worried about his performance here. It's not like the pressure that was on Evil Mr. Muffins last season to perform when he took over Pocket. But here we go, we're on the first mid row. So you've got SVIFT in blue and Velocity in the red.
And coming into the underneath is Delpo, getting early eyes on the Jarrett on the right side here, spamming out the choke. He does call it the Soldier and has Sticky's infantry preparations. High Five immediately going in. Gonna get a little bit of a joke from Kryptonite here, who's also gonna be rotating around the side, and we do see a really bad position from Swift, but they still have the first frag in their favor. Garbuglio going for a big bomb on top of the side of the mount, the giant midpoint. He is able to pick up Jarrett, and that's gonna open the door for Scissor, who's walking in. He's onto the scout. He's gonna be falling close behind the med. Bear is trying to get up through hell and lower, but Sizz is on him. He's going for the saw. He's so close. He's so close. No, doesn't get it. Delpo cleans that up. A nice follow-up from the Demo Man. And that will be a very late death from Bear, meaning no heals onto this last point.
Yeah, he's going to be dead. His timer, all told, was 17 seconds, so that is going to be pretty rough. Marmadog is trying to get a gun up right now. It is but a small, tiny baby level 1 at this time. So we'll see. Hopefully they're going to hurry this up here. It looks like they're coming in lower. Maybe going to try a shutter door attack here or far right. Either of those are fairly popular for these Uber advantage type pushes. Yep, and it looks like they're on their way. Scissor leading the charge. Oh, he's dead right away.
What a great pipe from Jarrett there to set things up, and that's completely denying them. They did manage to take down the sentry there, but they barely made it past the bridge, which is the benchmark for how far you can get in from the right side. So now we do see a retaliation from Velocity. They're getting into position in lobby. They also have Kryptonite on the battalion's backup, which will be a nice little piece later on. They do pick up an early frag onto Garbuglio, aka Purple Shirt. Nuck doing the work there. Now they're finally getting their second point, and with this Uber as well as a battalion's backup underway, they could have potential for multiple pushes here.
Yeah, and he's gonna be, oh wow, big charge shot comes down on Bear. He's got to pop on it basically. They may get a frag here. That's high five going down. It's just a roamer though. That's no big deal. I do like the battalion's backup here because Kryptonite's basically holding last, and it gives you that little health boost. So gives him a little bit more health on last. But now the tables have turned because SVIFT has got full Uber again. And they will be heading into the alleyway here and trying to weasel their way in.
And Kryptonite is very close to having that battalion's backup potentially to stave off this Uber entirely. They're at 60%, waiting for 4-4. 4-4 is just, you know, trying to get position from the scouts. The scouts are calling all these positions, but not really initiating. Their soldiers, Swift, they don't have their soldiers in. They're stuck in the house, and that's what's going to be going against them because Scissor is going to get taken down by Jarrett, and now they're only finally getting onto the point. Some initiation on the side, though, is Garbuglio getting good damage onto Marmadog, going to take him, or actually Kryptonite, so that takes away the that battalion's backup we could have seen. No Uber was forced off, but finally it does, and now both Ubers are already on either side. They're forcing it off on both sides. 4-4 trying to get out now, getting chased by both scouts who are trying to get juggled by Delpo. Good pipes! Got to take down Shamu and completely deny that, and 4-4 is going to be able to get out with his life, but Velocity are currently holding on to the numbers and potentially getting a pick onto high five because he's pretty committed here in the alleyway. Gets clipped by the side of that. Gonna try and get out through drop down. He could get out. No, does finally get cleaned up.
And that'll be a pick advantage going forward here. We're still running the battalion's backup from Kryptonite. He did die earlier, so it's not charged or anything by any means, I would assume. But we may see the push here. They are a player down, and it's a spam class. So here they go, throwing 4-4 rather around on the bridge. Delpo getting tossed about a bit too. There is a hiding Garbuglio. Garbuglio used to be a roamer, bombs right onto the med. He's gonna grab that kill right there. Garbuglio will be cleaned up by Nuck, but the damage is done. Also, Velocity's health is not great. And 404 has Uber right now. It honestly kind of surprises me they're not already moving. But maybe they just need Garbuglio.
Exactly. I think it's the numbers call right there. They wait for the respawn and they start working their way in, but the med finally getting to the point here. You see Slemnish clearing things out. A lot of spam coming in. Very good coordinated spam, as well as stickies above the shutter. Thankfully, they get popped, and now they're going to be seeing the initiation. But Sizz gets taken down. Immediately retaliated is Marmadog. So now, ooh, very good pick from Delpo, picking up the Demo Man in the drop down. That's going to open the door for a mid almost entirely. They might even have to pop Uber if they can afford to avoid any hiding players. But thankfully, they know there's nobody there. They see all four in front. They're working their way in. Demo going for a big bomb, trying to cut off the choke point. It's going to be pressuring the scouts out, but Kryptonite is also going to get out. Thankfully, they do manage to pick up on a Nuck, and that pick is going to be a huge difference here for working their way in with the number advantage while Bear finally gets his Uber.
Yeah, you were right on that call. That no soldier, no demo. They only had one explosive splash class. And in that scenario, it's really, really difficult to get an Uber out of a team. So it was basically over right then and there. And we end up with the team holding Uber and gaining mid. So now we've got a stalemate. However, Nuck is on that spy class. And I guess he's looking to break out. Garbuglio runs the sack. Doesn't get anything. So this is the best time for Nuck to strike.
But he is running that Cloak and Dagger, which is going to slow down his approach. Gotta wait for that recharge. He's slowly crouching his way over there, getting eyes on players. And that's actually going to be helpful for the rest of the players in the house, working their way up the tunnel. Trying to get in position. Jared is able to get a nice little sticky trap on the air conditioning vent, while Nuck continues to get into position. He's not really seeing anything. He's sitting all the way at the eyes on the drop down in the staircase, the little ramp. But very soon he can start working his way over to the house. Maybe coordinate a little bit of spam with Kryptonite, who's going to be building that battalion's backup still. And actually, no, he does see the medic now. He's in a great position here, but Slemdish, and oh, he's so on it. He's going to get around there and completely deny it. Nuck goes down. So no spy play, but very good timing, I think he did on that part.
Yeah, the players were a little close to him there, but it wasn't a bad camp spot because one of my gripes with this map is if you're going to push, you're going to do it from the left. So he knew he was in the spot. Bombing in goes Garbuglio again, but no force this time. So nothing doing there. A sack for a sack, basically. But a push is developing here in the alleyway. Kryptonite kind of leading the way, but they're going to think better of it and back off. Nuck is going to go back to that well and find another off class to play, which is unusual. Usually you don't see the defending team, especially when it's 0-0, go to the off classes so quickly.
But watching lower is going to be a great angle here. Drop down all the way across the valley can catch a lot of players out if they decide to not go for house. We do see High Five immediately going in, getting taken by the trap from Jarrett, and that's going to open the door. They do see it. Sizz is peeking his way in. Nuck is still charging up that shot, so now they completely abandon alley and valley as a route, and that's going to actually open the door for them because they can just slow push with their sniper, let him charge up a fully charged shot, and right around the corner he could go for it. He's so close. He's peeking it. Doesn't connect it, but he's still getting into many good angles here. 4-4 is just hiding behind as many barriers as he can, and this is putting Swift into such a disarray because they cannot afford to break their line of defense.
Yeah, it was really strange they chose not to push there because almost all of Swift was back to the back left of mid, so you could have gotten in those doors for free, and they chose not to take it. But you know, they are at disadvantage here, being the guys that are holding second. So we'll see. It's mostly on SVIFT here to decide what they're going to do. They do technically have an offensive class advantage. Yeah. So they could try. The sort of popular conventional wisdom here is to just use, Nuck is essentially not occupying space. So you try to go find a kill somewhere. And they're just not finding it.
We do have a pause here during this exchange. There was a nice little pick onto Marmadog after Garbuglio was taken down. And Slemdish is currently about to get shot by a sticky, but I don't think Jared is in any particular position to get a fat 72 damage sticky off, so I'm pretty sure Slemdish will live. And nobody in position to also follow up, except now we do see the pause is finally over. Shamu working his way up. He does spot out Slemdish. Good damage from Nuck. Getting that charged shot, able to take him down. Now they're working their way in through alley. They have two picks here, essentially, and High Five is doing a lot of spam. 4-4 rotating over through the house. Almost gets caught up by Jared, who's now getting into position in the house. A lot of players sitting on the point. We do see initiation with the Uber from Kryptonite, who's able to force the Uber off on 404 and also start working his way out. He might have that battalion's back up in position here, and he's going to try and get damage on the High Five, who does manage to take out Bear with two great rockets. Jarrett finally getting the retaliation kill and good damage on the Garbuglio. So no soldiers on the side of Swift, but Sizz is not afraid of that. He's working his way into the house and he's able to pick up onto Kryptonite there, completely removing that battalion's backup, which is not working for them so far.
Yeah, I mean, you get that health bonus, but it's not a huge change in your DPS. And so in plays like that, they had some advantages going there. Kryptonite got a great force because the med was so disconnected, but then there was nothing else really doing there, and SVIFT is just going to get in here. Velocity doesn't have the health or the players to block this.
So Swift now taking control of second. They're once again in the driver's seat, but we're at the last position. Nuck's still in that sniper class. after getting taken down on the second point. He is going to get some good shots here available at the shutter. And it's going to completely nullify it as an option unless they decide to go for a quick push. They are going right in with a double Uber onto the soldiers, getting the players around. All their explosive classes are very deep in, but the heavy from Armordog is getting good damage, being able to take down both the soldiers, but they still get the cap, thankfully, cutting off all the entrances. And that's one of the downsides of this last, if you're cooped up behind that barrier fence.
Well, your instincts are to run away from the invincible people back behind the that metal fence of safety, but then once you're back there, it's really hard to get out.
Exactly. So now Swift with an early lead, 1-0. Actually, we do see Delpo getting completely stuffed out by a single sticky from Jarrett, and that's going to give the opening for Velocity as they're taking a lot of high ground here. But they have a Scissor who's managed to work his way entirely underneath the point to get behind, but he gets completely denied there. Nice little arrow from KKK, took my baby away there as he was getting bombed by Garbuglio. High Five is going to get retaliated here very shortly, and 4-4 is just going to dive bomb him before dying. Nut got taken down there, but the big takeaway here is Bear stayed alive there despite Garbuglio's attempt.
And Delpo says that pause messed my weapons up. And then Jarrett says you had like 3 stickies on the floor. It confused me. So, Sizz though, gonna kill Kryptonite and maybe slow this down just a hair because Bear is gonna go down lower because he doesn't want to get one in the dome either and ruin this Uber advantage. But over on Swift, double, triple off class even. So they're running the Highlander defense right now, and we'll see if it can stave this off.
Yeah, and one of the other big things here, we don't get to talk about it a lot, but Scissor, very seasoned Highlander sniper, not going to be doing any impact here because the Uber came in from the left side, and they haven't grabbed any picks, essentially. They got the sentry gun, their med got hurt, their demo got hurt, and now Delpo is farming inside this right side, able to pick up both the pocket and the demo. Armordog backing out through the lower, going to probably be in a good position here in the bridge if he can find a position to jump onto the point. Well, players are going to be clearing things out, and Armordog is walking forward, getting some good damage onto Scissor, who's going to get followed up immediately by Shamu, putting a lot of scattergun bullets, but it's just kind of peppering back and forth, no real initiation here. Slumnish finally getting the pick on Armordog before immediately pistoled down by Nuck, and Kryptonite picking up onto Sizz there is going to be pretty good because now there's no scouts, giving them a little bit of a DM advantage in these fights.
Well, the big one is it's going to take forever to cap this point, and it requires your splash class. Oh, Shamu gets rocked by Garbuglio, though. You might say, Marxist, what are you talking about? That was a spam rocket, but it saved their bacon. Because when your scouts are too dead to cap, that requires at least 1 or 2 of your main door-holding classes to be not holding a door. And, It could have gotten ugly there, but it all turns out okay. Velocity botches the push, and now they're falling back. But they are. Shamu is doing something. He's thinking about his options.
He's looking at his cigarettes and saying, "Yeah, let's light one up." So we do see the spies in play now. Players are pretty evenly spaced. I've actually noticed on Swift, we've basically got double roamer action right now. We do see a nice fast bomb. Gonna be able to pick up on Sizz, getting right in through the shutter door, not even stopping at the end of the bridge. He went all the way through the shutter door before dying, and so that 1-for-1 exchange is gonna, even things out. High Five's charging up some shots, trying to pick off Jarrett. But I actually really want to talk about this double roamer thing I'm seeing so far. Every time I've seen a push, neither of the soldiers have been near the heels.
Yeah, that has been done in the past. And it's an okay decision. I would say it's a very viable way to play. It's just not as typical. In part because a lot of the time your soldiers can feel pretty useless. And so if they have... Oh, the spy play gets Delpo, though. So there's Shamu. That's a good pick. They ought to push in off that. Shamu also, double agent man, is able to escape.
And High Five gets taken down there, so now with no explosive classes alive, Swift are going to be able to take this point, but they did get their Uber forced off, so 4-4 will have that defensive ability in his Uber, but they got to move fast. No soldier spawning for 10 seconds. They can do something here, send a soldier in, but with 2 scouts in position, it's going to be very hard to get anywhere close to that medic. They're peppering away at it, and we do see Jarrett putting some good damage, trying to get in through the bridge, doing good damage onto Delpo here. but Devil's going to be staying alive just fine. They're so worried, so paranoid about the spy. He does decoy at an inopportune time and gets taken down there by Garbuglia, who also follows up onto Marmordog. So now with 2 picks there, we will be seeing potentially a push out with this Uber advantage, which is slowly dwindling.
Yeah, they waited too long to pull the trigger on that. They needed to just sack in and back up. But they decided to let it last forever and then jump into a Natasha heavy.
So now Swift taking control of the point. They got all their respawns now. The Ubers are even, so we've reset once again. It's the wash of Metalworks. But Marduk could get taken out here. Very good damage onto him by Slemnish, and Slemnish is going to get retaliated by Shamu before he can even do anything about it. So now with this numbers advantage, they're coming in. They're going to get some players caught out here. Potentially Garbuglia going to get out of position, thankfully. 4-4 popping off Zuber, taking a little bit of damage there. Now we do see Kryptonite trying to decide how he can block the medic here or catch some other players. He's going to be able to catch out Garbuglio, who was kind of half and half in that fight there. And the battalion's backup does get popped off here to clean up the rest of these players. We do see them rushing in. Shamu is so low on health, but that battalion's backup bomb is going to be able to get in onto Slemnish, who is able to pistol down Jarrett. Taking him down there is going to be a very crucial thing because they have 3 players down and Garbuglio is respawning on that heavy, getting good damage with that Natasha heavy. And nice little juggle by Snuck. And now Delpo with a nice little double sticky trap. It's not going to be enough because they just get the cap, and now Velocity have evened things out.
Yeah, I got scared there because they had 2 players die in the sticky trap on the cap. But, so here we are. They even it up. And we'll see what is going on now for this next mid.
You see Jarrett getting there much faster, trying to get some damage onto Delpo, but missing most of the stickies here. Big bomb from Marmordog here, coming over the top, jumping down onto the medic. 2 rockets is all it takes, and he takes it down. Kryptonite also following up. This is a great soldier play from these soldiers on Velocity, and it's just up to High Five right now, who's going to get juggled by the scout and then immediately pistoled down. What a phenomenal mid from the soldiers. Marmordog getting taken down, but they just went in and connected all the rockets.
Yeah, and that was the result is a repeat of the last mid that was a clear Velocity win. They, so far in these set piece last pushes, Velocity has not done particularly well. They have done okay pushing into last when SVIFT dies completely on second. But we'll see how it goes here. Will they lose a player right away and botch this whole thing?
I should hope not. They have the Uber. They're looking for their position. They're opting to go either banana or left. They are opting to go through the main. Getting onto the bridge, popping right away. Not going to get taken down by the sticky traps by Delpo. Sentry's doing a little bit of work here, catching up the players and slowing them down. Nobody's even shooting it, but Shamu's getting a nice amount of frags here. The sentry gun finally goes down. Delpo is still alive, trying to put some stickies on the point, and the battalion's packet gets popped off by Kryptonite, which is going to be a huge factor in stopping the rest of this push, and now they're going to be collapsing onto the point, taking their second round, and Velocity is going full speed.
Yeah, if you're winning mids that convincingly, as long as you can finish it off, seal the deal on that last push, you're gonna end up winning the game. So we'll see, can SVIFT recover here on mid and get themselves back together?
We do see Jarrett, both demos getting at the same time now, but better damage from Delpo here, denying Shamu entirely and almost getting another sticky onto the medic. He's not even deading them. Could have gotten some good damage there. So now we're looking at the Swift soldiers coming in onto the medic. Bear getting juggled. Finally get taken down by Garbuglio. Very nicely done. He might even fall off on the Kryptonite, who's very low on health in the house. The scouts are also making a lot of work here for the back lines, taking down Marmordog and Nuck, as well as Shamu. High Five gets taken down, but it's just the demo and soldier alive now. And Kryptonite is able to pick up onto Slemnish here and still haul on to that battalion's backup once again, probably building up a fair amount here.
Indeed, that was the reversal that they needed to get, because those last 2 minutes were ugly, frankly, from SVIFT. So here they go. They're putting time on the point. A little token defense. Nuck is on that sniper, so he could change the game in a heartbeat, but so far, no doing. And they are actually allowing themselves to be bullied. No, the double shot from Nuck is going to kill Sis and Delpo. And there we go. That's the game changer they were looking for.
And this force is absolutely crucial in slowing things down even more for Swift. High Five is getting him the lobby. Oh, he gets right on top of the medic, but no, he doesn't get enough time to get 2 shots off, and Bear's just going to tank that in the face. Juggle himself a little bit in the air and be just fine. Happy and ready to move on. Kryptonite down, no battalions back up in play. He was building that for some time, and now we do see Bear with full Uber. They're trying to make their way in, but Carbuga is actually hitting himself in the house, and so he's going to get on top of the sniper, try to get some good damage off. He's so close, and he's going to get followed up by the scout Shamu, who's coming in, able to get it before getting taken down, and Nuck hitting a nice little headshot there, able to take down Sizz. Very well done. Seems to have Sizz number. It's the second time he's killed them.
Yeah, he does. Sometimes that just happens. The latencies match up just perfectly, and you can't miss. So here we go. 4 down. This should be a fairly easy push. They are carrying a sniper. They are going to pop the Uber defensively here from 404. It'll bring the Uber out of Bear, and now it becomes a positional fight. Nuck is going to go down in the sniper. Marmadog isn't going to make it either. And that's a reversal from Velocity, so good call there from 404 to stand his ground.
Delpo also going for a very big bomb. Was not able to juggle the medic at all. Bear juking his way around, and so he is going to get out with his life. And unfortunately, there's no advantage to be had. He's lost all of it, and now it's relatively even, and the numbers are so huge. They actually got the respawns. They couldn't even deny them. This cap is going so slow, almost got Kryptonite as well, so they're going to be initiating this fight. Swift going in and getting a good bomb onto Bear, who's so low on health. Finally, Sundish able to pick it up, and High Five as well, going to be trading with Shamu here. Really good damage onto Jared here. Can he pistol it down? Slemnish is so close. One more shot is all it takes. He's going to get retaliated by Marmadog, and now Kryptonite also gets taken down. It's just a 1-for-1. What an incredibly scrappy fight. It felt like a mid-fight as it was exchanging in the second point. It's Delpo versus Marmadog, and Marmadog is going towards the drop-down. Going to be going in behind. He's jumping up, but missed the timing. Still going to be falling in close onto Delpo. 2 rockets is all going to take, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, and the better end of that trade was 100% on Marmadog, because no Delpo means they can get moving here on this midpoint and have relatively little fear of what's going to happen. Again, I think Kryptonite is just maining that battalion's backup. He truly believes in it. It's his thing. But Shamu gets overexposed, and so does Marmadog, and now we have no flank. So out goes Velocity. The rotation continues, and that puts SVIFT in the perfect position to push, and they're already here.
And Sizz is also underneath with the help of High Five. They're going to be creating a lot of havoc for the rest of Velocity, so they backed off and decided to rotate to the main of the lobby. They are forcing their Uber off, chasing down 404. They got to get this damage off before he gets out. Nice rockets and scattergun shots are able to take it down. 404 is so close, but the incredible pistol from Nuck is going to slowly chip away at him and take him down. Not a single one was missed, I don't think. And now Garbuga, the last player alive, goes for a desperate attempt and does get it. He gets meleeed before getting his final shot off and taking down Bear at the very end. So that is a saving grace for Swift here.
Yeah, that's the kiss of death there. Kryptonite, I don't think, has any rockets, because he has just had that melee out. So here he is. Yeah, he's finally okay. One drawback of the battalion's backup is it does not deal damage. So he had to rely on his melee to clean up that suicide, and it didn't do it quite fast as it used to. So now we're in a situation where Ubers are more or less even. This is a pretty tight game. Time is starting to maybe become a factor, but I doubt the players are really thinking about it that way. And we'll see what goes down, because we've seen a pretty high propensity to off-class Nuck in these sorts of situations.
And actually, we do see Swift 4-4 calling it as if they have an Uber advantage here, but thanks to the Bear in the building, not only that, they were a little bit slow in lining up their position out of the main. So now they do force the Uber off. They are going to be able to get out with their lives. And actually, Kryptonite jumped in. He's able to pick up on the Sizz. And with Jared also picking up High Five, that's 2 players down on the side of Swift, with only Nuck as the retaliation frag. I do think they're going to be working their way in through the alleyway with very little spam potential from any of these players. We do see the battalion's backup getting popped off right away. They're working their way in. Nice little bomb from Kryptonite getting in there. Swift is crumbling to this battalion's backup play.
Wow, and there were several players down, which helps.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, I like the idea of the battalion's backup, because you've already got an advantage. It just gives you more of an advantage without being a huge sacrifice. So, and again, we are seeing Sizz, the sniper, on the sniper class, and Nuck is going maybe spy. I think he's working out his disguise. No, he thinks better of it. Sniper time.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? If you've gotten Sizz taken down on his scout class, maybe you can see how you rank up when he's on his bread and butter, the sniper class.
Yeah, and that's not a knock on Sizz. I mean, he's a perfectly good scout. It's just he spent so much time playing sniper, you can't ignore it. Oh, Nuck completely misses on a standing still Slemnish. So there's that at least, I suppose. Even good snipers have their off days. But there he gets Delpho. All is forgiven.
Immediately bragging onto Delpho while him and Slemnish are having a little spat in the chat. Slemnish gets taken down there by Shamu, who is taking the brunt of this Uber. Finally, 4-4 gets forced off, and good damage onto Kryptonite is going to take him down. But Shamu is having the last push of his life as he grabs his 3rd kill. Doesn't get it anymore, though. High Five is going to take down to that. And Marvadog, the only other soldier alive here, trying to get some damage off, but Scissor has got back on the scout class, working his way up. He's going to be chasing down Jared, who has no stickies defensively. He does finally put some stickies down and able to slow off that push and wrap around to catch the sniper Nuck before he go for any cheeky medic snipes. And now we do see Swift finally taking control of their 2nd point before they work their way in. There's very little time left, Marxist. There's about, I'd say, 3 minutes left.
Yeah, and that's going to be rough. SVIFT does have enough time to try to drive this back. He would have preferred to have killed Bear there, but they're just going to have to deal with it. They are trying to get in here. They need to get leading damage. They're throwing High Five in straight away, and he's going to get wiped out. And that's pretty much going to be the end of it here. Velocity, though, getting cleaned up now. They ceded their positioning. I'm going to chalk that one up to too many people taking shots at High Five because they got wiped out.
Uber's ready on both sides, but the numbers advantage is so strong for Swift. They're going to get mid and forward spawn camp. And Kryptonite, who can also use that nice little bind to quickly retaliate his pill. Thankfully, Delpo got there in time to throw up the stickies, but we're seeing Nuck going to be using that spy class to...
Well, the other thing that we missed there, Ro, is that Bear just dropped Uber straight up on last. I don't know if it was out of frustration at his team or because he figured it wouldn't matter, but I can tell you it is going to matter here.
I wonder if Swift did he do a kill bind or what happened?
No, he got a soldier on his head and then just blew up into sparkly sparkles, so they know.
And they know, so they're going to be pushing in right away from the left side. He's taking on the sentry right away. Slemnish trying to create some ground for his team here, chasing down the soldier. Kryptonite finally getting taken down with a long distance shots from High Five. No one's even started to go for the point. They need to take down Jarrett, or at least clear the stickies, because they can't finish this off in time. Nice little play from Jarrett there as he's able to get a little bit of damage on the Slemnish here. He's shooting left and right. Coming back in, finally Nuck takes him down, but Nuck was very low on health, and now it's just High Five and 4-4 backing out here. They will be getting out in time, and Bear has the Uber advantage.
Yeah, and they're immediately going to the Garbuglio spy because they know time is short. He is on the standard watch. So he's going to snatch this ammo kit, maybe. No, it's going to get stolen by the enemy demo. And now his backcap plan is not going to function correctly. So we got to go for the big stab here. And it's not going to happen because Ubers are popped. Can't stab the invincible guys.
Can't. Shamu all the way in the house now. They're going to be getting the mid as a consolation prize before Swift starts working their way in. Delpo being down is really nice too, though. So, that's going to be it. With that nice little pick on a Nuck, that slowed things down just enough. Not enough for Delpo to get forward spawns, but they still have this full Uber advantage, which they're going to be using to get in through Jared, who's very close. They pop away. They do not want to die to that sticky trap, and Jared's going to be surfing his way around while the Sun's just rushing forward, trying to catch out any of the players. Sizz is on a beeline, though, for Bear. Is all the way in and able to get that frag, and now Jared is also disconnected on the bridge, puts stickies down. It's a nice little initiation from the soldiers there who are not giving up. It's probably dead time. That's all I can think of. There's certainly no time
people ruining their KDs at this point. And the block cap, though, that kind of slowed everything down. I think it basically just becomes garbage time at that. Like you said, Ro, because it's too hard to get second and last in the time allotted with a no mid cap.
Almost.
Yeah, not the greatest hiding space in the history of the game, though.
Yeah, I think I've seen better. But actually, it looks like it wasn't actually garbage time. We do see a bit of an advantage here. I don't know if they're going to get it in the next 16 seconds because that's all they have to work with. They're going to be dry pushing it even, so there must be a little bit less than 20 seconds to go. There are sticky traps in play here, and Garbuglio might get taken down here. Nice little 1-for-1 exchange. Nuck gets taken out by high five, though. Very good damage. Nice pipe onto Slemnish. All these players are going 1-for-1, and that's going to be it. They couldn't quite go the distance in time. So Velocity will hold on to their 2-1 lead going into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, why not push in that scenario? It's not going to hurt you any. So, not the greatest push ever, though. So, here we are, 2-1. We go the distance, and you know my rule, Ro. We're going to see a quick second half out of these two teams. So, stay tuned. We're going to bring you some stats, though.
Stats are where it's at.
I don't know. My grade in stats was not particularly good, but I can look at them and talk about them. So here we are. No drops except for that one from Bear. That's kind of an anomaly. I think he just did that because he was upset. They're even on the frags. Your top fragger for the evening is Shamu, who their team is very Shamu gets the kills centric. Also, he is top damaging in the server. So, if you're top damaging and top fragging, you are having a really good night.
Yeah, Shamu has been unlocked, I think, because this is quite an improvement from the general feel that I've gotten from him when he was working with Sam, when he was working with other players in previous teams, Mario Party 4. All this together, like he was not as much of an impact as we see in this match. Like that is some really good stats to see from a scout. 260 DPM, very solid stuff.
Yeah, and what a story, the tale of the tape on SVIFT is Metalworks is not a super scout centric map. I would liken it more to like a granary where Soldier does have a lot more freedom of movement than he normally does. Now, Scissor, who's not played in a while, 188 DPM, 17 frags, 17 deaths. Slemnish, partner, 181, so about 7, give or take, less damage per minute. 16 and 16, so they are virtually the same person at this time. So, which is pretty good for Sizz, having not played in a while.
Yeah. What does that say about Slemnish? I'm kidding. Let's not get into that. Correlation is not causation.
Yeah, he's a big slacker. Stats. But yeah, here we go. Anything else that I see of note? Delpo's DPM is pretty good. This is not a map where a demo typically can get oodles and oodles of damage, unless you end up with a lot of slow pushes over mid. And so that's basically where we are now as far as the stats go. And we're just waiting for the players to sort themselves out and get on with our brief second half. I'm putting money down on it, Ro.
Actually, I do want to just kind of bring to light here Jarrett with sub 200 DPM and lowest stats on his team, and Velocity is still holding on to things. What does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, this map is weird for demo. And his team is playing in kind of a strange style on this map, where they are very heavily focused on putting Shamu in position to get frags. Whether that's by design or that's just how it's playing out. Yeah, and Jarrett has had some kind of rough mids as well, which is going to hurt his EPM. And in chat, I will bring this up. So, I don't know if our cameraman and console caught this, but there was the incident where Nuck took a shot on Standing Still Slemnish and completely missed. He types, Slem, we don't talk about that shot on last. I thought you'd like move, and I panicked. No way he can't see me. Slemnish types, I was not paying attention, to be honest.
To which Nuck says, I noticed.
I shot and 5 seconds passed, and then you flew.
That's delayed reaction from Slemnish, who's probably just waking up in that regard.
Well, I mean, sometimes you, as a scout player holding that left side, you expect there to be a lot more coverage down the, down the pipe of this middle, or last rather, the middle of the last. Because that's usually where the pocket and the demo kind of hang out and troll those two doorways. And if you get sniped through them, it's because something crazy has happened to your combo, and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But we'll see. We'll be going in here pretty soon, I would like to think.
Yeah, just waiting
Who
for
are the
the,
non-moving players? Jarrett,
Yeah,
Garbuglio, Sizz. They are our drink getters.
maybe they're washing hands, you know, palms are sweaty.
Well, it's not yet quite winter time here in North America, if you're one of our viewers from abroad, but I would often take a break in halftime to put my hands under cold water in the winter, just because it gets pretty chilly here.
So when it's chilly, you put your hand in cold water.
Or hot water,
I was
excuse me.
gonna say, Marxist,
I was thinking about cold, you know. So I put my hands under hot water because, over time as you're playing, they would get kind of stiff, and since I played medic, that was not good because your left hand is doing a lot of key pressing to avoid spam, and if you can't really feel your fingers, that's a major disadvantage.
You also got to have that trigger finger ready to roll on the right side.
I always had the biggest fear that I would accidentally pop Uber, and it never, in my several thousand hours of TF2, I have never accidentally popped Uber. I have accidentally killed myself in spawn, but I have never accidentally popped Uber.
Yeah, that's one of the things I have a problem with too, is every now and then on non-TF2 excursions, I'll just casually accidentally right click and I'm like, well, I can't be a medic main now.
Yeah, that would be a bad trait to have. I just, I think it's because it was such a concern, but there was a granary where I accidentally, I use a script I press the M key, I switch to a random class and switch back to medic so I can not look at the menu when I want to forward spawn. And for some reason that day it just wasn't having it. So it would spawn me to like heavy. So I tried to do it on the menu, and my kill bind was really close to my menu key. And I made a oopsie. And that was very, very embarrassing. And it probably cost my team that round, because not having a medic for 35 seconds or so is pretty bad.
Yeah. Still waiting on these players to ready up.
It's Jarrett. Oh, he moved slightly.
There we go. Okay, there we go.
He
No
was the
more. We're done. Marxist, it's over.
Yeah, it was Jarrett. So here we go. Back to the second half. I'm putting money down that this one's going to be fast and furious. So what we're looking for here, Ro, I want to see a bigger game out of Jarrett. And we'll see if SVIFT can keep winning mids, because Velocity was pretty dominant there for a while.
Yeah, both teams sharing one quality in their names, and that's speed. As SVIFT gonna be the first one to lose out here with a nice bomb from Armordog. Velocity taking control here with Delpo taking down, and very good damage onto the scout as well. And now it's a follow-up from Nuck, who's on top of the medic, not even shooting him. And now a follow-up bomb from Kryptonite, able to get damage onto Garbuglio, who gets arrowed there very nicely. Gonna follow up onto Kryptonite, who cannot get arrowed by his own teammate as a result. Jarrett getting nice picks onto Slemnish and High Five. SVIFT and Velocity are going back and forth, but thankfully SVIFT is able to keep their medic alive, and Delpo is finally on the respawn, coming up to the lobby. They will be in position here at second because Bear and the rest are a little bit afraid of peeking this corner.
Yeah, now Delpo is up here. So I think that's going to be scary enough. Delpo is a very good demo, and you may not want to run at him, so they decide to just let it be. Now, interestingly enough, over on your blue team side, that's now Velocity, Nuck is going to the Spy class. At least he's no, he's gonna do the same thing again, where he goes Spy, checks for off classes, and then goes Sniper. So he's gonna go back to that. Well, will it be that missed shot on a standing still Slemnish, or will it be that 2K?
Time will tell as we're getting players in position, trying to see how they can work his way in through the drop down, trying to catch any players that just decide to casually stray over towards that pack. And that's actually a lot of freedom here, particularly when you're on offense, to have an angle on right here. It completely denies the lower area as an option. High Five's trying to peek, keep the spam up so he doesn't get anything, but really there's no threat with Nuck sniping from the drop down area. There's no wary toes that peek their way around the pipelines. It's really safe.
Yep, and Nuck keeps that SMG on hand to get rid of the stickies. So he's going to keep peeking around this corner. You see Soldier does not get anything there. And I think he may relocate after that because there is now a ton of SVIFT attention on this doorway.
Oh, there's the shot right away into Garbuglio. Very good job from the house main. That's going to open the door up for potentially getting a player in through the side. Kryptonite is in position with his heals. They actually want to go for an Uber push, I think, with their scout. Shamu clearing the way for his team, calling out the positions, trying to get eyes on it. They're kind of pussyfooting around it. I don't think they're going to be going for it. And actually, as a result, Kryptonite's going to get completely baited here as he's almost completely abandoned. Finally gets aired there. Good high five on that shotgun, able to take on Shamu here. And that pick is also going to call for some action from Swift.
Yeah, I don't understand that one as much. Marmadog is standing there holding the choke door while the rest of his team is sort of assembling on the side, and it's much more effective, just as a general rule, to double soldier push this left side and let somebody else, probably should have been Shamu, handle that inside door. But that's how a sniper in those sorts of situations will handcuff you, because they were essentially a player down on in their main thrust through the left side, which is generally the only way teams push on this map.
So now with Nuck once again trying to get that shot in through main. High Five doing a very good job to steady their aggression here. Nuck is going to once again be opting to go through lower, trying to get shots onto any of the soldiers, trying to play that spam game underneath. But like I said, the only thing you have to worry about is when he gets into alley, which is right now. So they are courting that spam. Nuck is getting very antsy here. He's getting a charge shot out. It's a nice little chip shot onto Delpo there. And with a scout playing defensively and a soldier also very close by, it's going to be very hard to pressure Nuck here outside of just the typical spam. And there's the bomb.
Yeah, bomb the soldier. That's your best bet there. Preferably the pocket. I don't think that's necessarily High Five, but he's got the most health at the time. They're going to run him out of town, and that'll be basically it. Now, note that time that we had both soldiers over here on the left side. Marmadog was watching lower. So they've at least righted the ship in that respect, but they're still just trying to get a pick with Duck. So they're breaking my rule right now because they're going pretty slow. But when you have the lead, as they do, I mean, why rush it?
And so the super exchange happening currently inside of House. Just trying to get some players in. They do manage to pick up the sniper, get a little bit of extra damage on a Nuck, but a nice little air shot by Mardog is going to stop High Five from going any further. And now with two players down on the side of Swift, Velocity is working their way to something. Not really sure what that is. Oh, drop from Garbuglio. That was so fast. I barely had time to hear the medic grunt before that following fizzle, and that's going to be an incredible pick for the rest of Velocity here to once again maintain their control. And now we do see a counter. Kryptonite with that battalion's backup is going to allow Marduk to jump in a little bit, get nice damage on the Scissor and take him down, but nothing else came of that battalion's backup. It's just kind of assured, like you said earlier. It just gives you that extra insurance to take control of the area.
Well, and 404 is going to come right back out here. So that was rough. It wasn't quite a sync drop either, because the soldier hit the first rocket and then kind of landed on Bear's head, and then he dropped. but the push is not going particularly well for SVIFT as they come back out here. They've already lost Flemnish, who's their player with the most experience playing with them. They leave Sizz behind to cap the point, and they're desperately trying to find an avenue to use this Uber advantage of theirs. And the doorway they picked has the entire kitchen sink flying at it, so they're going to pick a different door.
It's usually how it goes. So now players are once again backed out. They're going to get the Uber in time, thankfully, to defend this mid. I think SVIFT will recognize that they were a little bit too slow in their decision making. So a couple charge shots going in and out. Players are just getting once again in position, but a big bomb from Mardog actually got behind, able to get the force stop on a 4-4. I was completely missing the action as he made his way through the wrap. That was they took advantage of knowing, hey, SVIFT is peeking aggressively here in the house, the main tunnel area. There's probably someone coming in through alley, and sure enough, right around the corner was Marmadog. Getting that force on a 4-4 is going to be huge, so now, desperately building, it's going to be SVIFT.
If you the alley is just the best way to go, and if you leave it too open, you're inviting nothing but sadness. So here comes some sort of a push out of velocity. They're trying to lead up this left side, but they're on the mid. Whoa! Bear nearly ate that air shot. He went about as straight up as you could go, and that thing missed just barely. And he had very little health, but is now going to pop through. 4-4 doesn't quite have it yet, so he is in the danger zone, but his players are sacrificing themselves to keep him alive, and then Slemnish hitting the meat right away, but no, he's going to get taken out by Nuck. 4-4 running away with the precious Uber, and he's going to escape, but it's just Garbuglio. I would like to see Nuck try to make a play here, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, he's just getting in position, helping build off that last little licks of Uber, even though they've still got about 60% to go. They are aware that 4-4 still holding onto that Uber is going to be able to make their way into this point. I do think you're right, though. Nuck could be in a position, or Shamu potentially, to draw players out. The Uber is forced off right away. SVIFT rushing very aggressively, and actually Marmadog is underneath the point, only just now getting called out by Garbuglio. He's going to be wrapping around through alley and get some good damage onto high five. Might even finish it off. He's so low on health. Can he get followed up? The rest of the players are walking in, and Velocity are not going to retaliate onto that frag. Taking down high five is very crucial here. So now we do see some initiation for both sides. The Uber is forced off. Delpo is trying to run away, but Shamu's got his number, and that's going to be the end of both 4-4 and Delpo. Slemnish as well. It's a desperate attempt from Scissor, who's still in the alley. It's cleaned up by Kryptonite, and that's a full wipe. I think the first wipe you've seen.
Yeah, and you know, we're seeing a lot of diversity out of our soldiers tonight because we've got Kryptonite running his battalion's backup, and High Five there was running the shotgun. That was how he secured that frag that opened everything up, basically, was with the shoddy boom body. So the game is a changing. Nobody's just all running gunboats all the time.
Yeah, it's not a stale meta, you know. We got some good things going on, thank Mr. Slim. But that's not going to stop both the scouts of going in, but then a nice little saw from Bear is going to allow them to get the Uber just before getting taken down. They're going to be using the last licks of this to at least get their way through the door or potentially do something, but Scissor is still behind, finally gets taken down. So both scouts down for SVIFT, Marmadog and Jarrett down for Velocity. This is definitely more in favor of SVIFT to push out with, but the respawn is already up for Jarrett and Marmadog, and they're going to be in-house within seconds.
Yeah, Bear got that chop into the pop, but then he ended up getting blown back. And one thing that a medic should really do is sometimes that's going to happen to your Ubers where you get pushed back and you need to let your team know. Nobody died, and as a result, they can make this great push, and Jarrett ends up not backing up fast enough, and he's going to get blown away. Marmadog, nice shots, though. He may not die. No, Slemness is going to take him out with the pistol. And there is a backup going right now, and this battalion's backup is in for the block. And it looks like they're going to get it, but there's a scout there right now. Nuck is going to get taken out by Slemnish. Slemnish is going to recap that, but it causes a lot of chaos up here at mid.
Yeah, no Cadis here. These are normal demos. Nothing phenomenal going on right now, as we do see Velocity making their way through the alley with this very, very small ad. It's not going to be enough to get on 4-4 unless they go within 2 seconds because 97, 98, 99, he gets it in time. Now he's going to be popping it off, just trying to save his players. Nobody getting taken down here, and now the rallying cry of Delpo and High Five are coming around trying to catch up players. They are going to be able to grab Jared as well as Bear, just walking forward, aiming rockets. It's also going to be a complete wipe. It's just Marmadog alive. He's trying to get to the truck pack, not giving them the courtesy of, hey, you killed all 7 of our players, or 7 of our players, all 6 of our players. Marmadog's going to get out just in time.
Yeah, nice jumps to get away. And preserving yourself there, his health was so bad, I doubt he'd have been able to get more than 1 rocket off. So you may as well just survive. He does end up causing some disasters here, though, because Ziz gets knocked to the floor, which delays this cap significantly and allows his team to get out here. So it was the right call. And then Kryptonite's going to kill 404 with spam. I don't know really what 404 was doing up there. Jarrett is going to die again. And Garbuglio is going to get traded out. Marmadog is going to go down. Shamu's going to pick up yet another frag and then die. And High Five is going to get taken out by Kryptonite, who also picks up Delpo. And then he's going to fall to the Sizz pistol. And now there's a 1v2. Nuck will finally be your victor and go to slapping himself with a sword.
Nothing more rewarding than winning the end of a fight and then hitting yourself with a sword.
Yeah, that's what I like to do too on the weekends.
Whew. And that is not a euphemism, ladies and gentlemen. Marxist does play with a sword.
I actually am responsible for the care of about 30. But here we go. They do have Uber advantage, but they're fiddling around. And we'll see if they can get anything out here. Nuck is actually going to die from a Sizz sniper. And the Sizz sniper is still present and is going to scare them quite a lot. But no, he's dead now. Marmadog, nice play there, getting in. Oh, forces the pop. Very nearly kills 404. He waited until the absolute last millisecond to pop that Uber row.
Very, very close there. And now we do see they do hold on to this midpoint. The players from Velocity are still kind of peeking their way in through the valley. They have Shamu defensively on the shack, Jarrett throwing pot shots with those stickies, while the rest of his players like Nuck walking across the point for free. An initiation from Mr. Marmadog almost gets some extra damage there, but finally gets taken down by the scout Slemnish. Swift have their scouts in position now, rushing forward. Slemnish kind of low on health, but even working their way through the house as some coordinate spam from just Kryptonite alone will steady them back to the main lobby. And Velocity once again getting into position here. It's 2-1 in favor of Velocity right now, but in this half we're still 0-0, and at least 15 minutes have passed. Marxist.
Yeah, they're way breaking this rule. So in other news, the Nuck got to violate every frustrated open team leader's worst fears, hearing a scout say, "I'm behind their medic." But he actually got the frag. That's the difference. Whoa! Everybody gets skyboxed. They pop Uber and get launched into space. So that is a 10 of 10 defense. That's no pursuit from space is possible.
And now Swifts are just kind of hanging out. They have their ad. They're ready to work their way in. They're going for drop down here with the valley play. There are some sticks in position. They're going to clean those out pretty easily and force the Uber right away. They do not want to waste any more time at all. They're going to catch out Shamu here. Very nicely done. But Marmadog and Nuck are both behind in the lobby and are going to get called out here. Finally, though, they do manage to come in, coordinate a little bit of damage, and Slemnish is a one-man wrecking crew, but Jared is not afraid of that. He's got his contractor's license, and he's going to stop him entirely with 2 nice little pipes.
Yeah, I strongly disagree with that play from Velocity, in part because they are winning this match. If you review the score, and that is a risky play that you do not need to take, and they went ahead and did it anyways, and that gets scary because you put the ball back in Swift's court when you lose 2 players like that off of an Uber push-in, because your own Uber is super delayed. And Velocity now, they're gonna pop Uber, but unless there's a huge mistake here, nobody's gonna die. Oh, it's getting close! Oh, Delpo's gonna drop down just as the Uber gets popped off. And Kryptonite tries to blow his banner. toot his own horn, but it's not enough.
And Marmadog's still behind. It's going to be a little bit of a factor here for Velocity as they try and finish off whatever they can on this point. A lot of initiation here is going to be able to take down Marmadog. Swift holding on to this midpoint as much as they can. Velocity getting chased out through the house here. Now we do see very good initiation from Sizz, who's up in the face of the opposing scout Nuck. They're going to be backing up. Velocity holding on to this bridge with a slight ad, but a numbers ad.
Yeah, and a good call there from Velocity, because as you fight over mid, your respawn disadvantage becomes more and more of a factor. And even though they maybe could have won that fight, they just thought better of it. So in comes this Uber. They are blowing people up as Kryptonite. He's going to get 4-4. And, well, Shamu's going to end up getting it, but he did all the damage. And they're going to get 2 more frags as well. And another. And that is going to be almost a wipe. Where even is High Five right now? He's standing on second with this Cow Mangler. So he is a non-factor at this time, and they're going to cap this easily, our Velocity, and they're back on the march after a small hiccup there. They may be able to get out here and get to pushing.
But one of the big things there is they didn't get the cap in time, so all the forward spawns of Swift came in, and that's going to slow them down. They decided, okay, you know, we have ad, let's build this out, let's get it done right. Let's push in like old-fashioned TF2 players will. But that just gives 4-4 more time to build with the crossbow. He's not going to be doing it, though, because now it is go time for Velocity to get onto the point. High Five taking so much damage here. He's actually going to be able to sneak out with a little bit of extra health there as well. Garbaguli the only casualty on the side of Swift. So now Velocity are looking at potentially an Uber, but not a numbers advantage, Marxist. And that's what you said before in the past about what it takes to push out of last.
Yeah, and we'll see. They do have this Uber advantage. So what you want to do here as you manage it is you only want to pop this Uber if you're gonna get a ton of frags. So we'll see. There's one. You want 1 or 2 more, or you're in the danger zone. They are chasing really hard. Look at what they're doing here, Ro. They're chasing super hard to get these frags because they know the rule. But they're gonna get 2, and that's gonna put Bear in the position to push back in with Uber as long as they don't botch this. Shamu is holding this rock to the best of his ability. I am disappointed that some of the Swift players that were in lobby and could have flanked there and totally ruined the lives of every Velocity player, but they chose not to.
Yeah, the Rockets just weren't connecting. They weren't in alignment with the stars, one could say. So now Velocity are going to be retaking the second point with ad, but 4-4 is just about a second or 2 away from getting that Uber. So Velocity could be in a bad position. They're using it right away, but they're going to be walking into the face of another Uber, which gets countered off right away. Trying to cut it off is going to be the Soldier High Five. He's juggling Bear. Bear's getting shotgunned down. There is a player on the last point. He does get taken down. That was Shamu, who couldn't do any more of it, but Nuck's going to be able to take down High Five. Walking into the face of the demo man is Sizz, but he gets immediately retaliated by Marmadog, who's walking through the shutter now. He does spot out the medic, but goes for the wrong target, and Garblugu is going to grab 2 picks there. It's going to be a full wipe. Bear and Shamu the only respawns, and second is ripe for the plucking.
Yeah, High Five getting those shotgun kills again, and you know, maybe it's preference for playing the game like it used to be played, or maybe it's because he was a scout and he's become scatter shot minded. But and I should remind you though, we're still in the first round of this half, so they've killed my rule. It's dead.
The curse is broken, Mark.
Yeah, the curse has been broken. I've cursed every other team for at least 3 seasons now. Probably a lot more than that. And they're finally fighting back against it. Because this may be the only round we see.
Yeah, it's winding down, and Velocity are currently falling apart. Marmadog almost got out, but Delpho with his nice sticky is able to make it work there. And now with both soldiers down next to the High Five on that shotgun, we're going to be seeing some very good initiation here. But Nuck is on the sniper, and the Uber is ready. What can Swift do here to mitigate these other disadvantages, despite having the numbers?
Well, High Five's going in, and so is Demo. Jarrett's going to end up eating quite a shot there. He ends up taking some shotgun as well. And it looks like High Five is trying to carve out, after we talk about a double roamer style play, he's trying to carve out a more traditional pocket roll. But the push doesn't really come to anything because they don't have any grit behind it. There's no Uber or anything, and they know Bear does. So at the end of the day, they push out Velocity and then run away.
And now Nuck on that sniper still, coming into the midpoint. He's going to be charging up some shots in the main. He sees the med beam. Oh, he whiffs the shot. So close to getting that medic there. And so now, while the rest of the players on Velocity are walking forward, they have almost no heals. Nice shot, though, from Nuck. They go on 4-4. It's going to be a nice little skip jump. I think Garbuglio actually edge bugged there as he jumped into the face of the Demoman Jarrett. With Nuck and Jarrett, the only players alive in house, it's open opportunity for Garbuglio to work his way in through the drop down. Gets on top of the medic, but misses the first rocket. Finally launches the second one, gets a little juggle off, and does get that force off. Trying to work his way around. He's sitting on top, taunting at the players because, hey, you've got stickies and I'm a roamer. You can't touch me. Finally does get it, but Garbuglio did manage to pick up Nuck, the sniper, during that whole exchange.
Well, yeah, and the balance here is Garbuglio's spawn timer is not particularly generous, but neither is Nuck. So we'll see what they decide to do. I would put this on Jarrett's shoulders. If Jarrett can get some damage, well, Shamu's just going to die in a 1v1. And Bear might go down. No, he saves himself, but then dies to high five. Great call. That was Slemnish for sure. Shouting into the mic, bomb him in Valley. And that's just how it goes. If you're a medic that is at that low of health, invite any player who dies, especially a player who dies to you and is going to see the kill cam that you have 2 health, they're going to drop everything and scream into the mic to go after you.
And right now, Swift with a 90% advantage right now. Finishing off this cap, they were able to, unfortunately, not keep Garbuglio alive, but with Jarrett down, that's definitely a good enough thing to work with. And Nuck on such a late respawn, this is absolutely their push to lose.
Yeah, everything is going right for them right now. Can they get the miracle play? Yeah, the most important pick by far.
But they are working their way in through the left side, getting a lot of good aggression here to slug their way in. Completely denying the entrance, and that's going to be a 2-2. Finally, Swift getting another round on the board with, I think, less than 9 minutes to go on this clock. 6 minutes.
Yeah, so the game could very well come down to this mid right here, because the way these two teams have been playing each other, we've not had particularly fast rounds, and so whoever wins this one, they may have it in the bag.
We're going to be seeing which soldier is going to be initiating first. It's going to be a complete wash. Every single player in the sky at the same time, but Scizor defensively beating up against Nuck. Going to get taken out by Jarrett, who also gets taken out by Delpo, who's got a second pipe onto Shamu. It is now Marmadog currently in house, trying to work his way around behind the players, while Kryptonite was the real player maker there, trying to get some work in there, but high five, shotgun pulls him away. Bear is all the way back, and Marmadog is still a factor here. They know he's there. They're playing so defensively. They're not even going to get their forward spawns here, which is going to be a nice factor. Nice rockets, and surfing. He almost got a third one onto 4-4-4-4 with Nerves of Steel at 19 HP. Marmadog, that was so good. I thought for sure he wouldn't have gotten more than 1 rocket off.
Yeah, a very good attempt from Marmadog. The other important factor here is that during all of that high drama, Bear ran away. He said, "Sorry, team, I'm out." And I am not sure if they are aware of that over on SVIFT, because that's kind of a weird play, but it doesn't matter because there are no scouts anymore. And Velocity is going to drop 3 players. They had a miracle Uber by great play from Bear, and instead, he just lets his whole team die.
And with 13 seconds left on the clock, they need this Uber as late as possible. Bear holding on to as much as he can. Finally do pop it. The cap did not go off, so they're going to be using the last moments of this Uber. No! He got juggled off the point, and that's not going to be enough to get the spawns back in. So Swift have taken a 3rd round, and with about 5 minutes left to go, we're going to be seeing if Velocity can go the distance in time to bring it back.
Velocity has to strike quick here. We saw pretty aggressive mids out of both teams last time, and I think that's because they knew the gravity of this mid, but now we're going to approach Velocity that may be getting desperate.
Marmadog getting on top of the crate on the right side, calling out all the players are below. You see a big high bomb from Garbuglio, who's going to be getting some good damage onto these players. They're not even looking at him, so he's going to get all these free damage, and he gets on top of the truck pack. It's going to be Slemnish to clean things up from behind. It is just Nux alive. He's going to be able to take down Slemnish. His way towards what he can see. He knows high five was low. trying to work his way back and forth, juking as much as he can, but finally Sizz pisses him down. And now with Swift, full Uber, a 1-round lead, and 3 minutes on the clock. I don't know how Velocity can hold on to this.
The icy breath of defeat is on the necks of Velocity here. They could not afford to lose that mid, and they did. They ended up losing their medic as well. 404 has got the Uber. If they can secure this round, they pretty much won the game. They may just stall here and tell campfire stories, however, just to assure victory, which is... Some people will complain about that. I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah, when you're holding a full house, you do not fold to some pressure. You hold on to that, baby.
So, and that looks like that's gonna be what they do. They're gonna cede their Uber advantage and just hang out on second, making some s'mores, talking about what they're gonna do after the match. And put the ball in Velocity's hands to make the play here to attempt to get back into this game with limited time.
And actually, they're opting to go with Marmdog on the sniper. He was pushing up while Nuck was playing still that scout. Now we do see, however, Marmdog has walked back, switched off to his roamer shoes. Kryptonite building up some battalions back up, Uber's even on both sides. It's just kind of a nice little even split for Velocity. They've got all their bases covered. There's no way anyone can get behind. Sans a spy, but thankfully there is no spy in play from Swift. They know how to play this, and if the Uber force is going to come out, they have to initiate because time is of the essence, and this force is not looking good for Velocity because Swift currently holding on to everything. High Five gets Joga back behind, taking so much damage, gets arrowed, but finally taken down, and the return call from that battalion's backup is going to be enabling the rest of them to move forward, but Sizz on the flip was able to 1v1, 1v2 essentially, the other players on the side of Velocity, and Swift are currently leading the numbers game.
Yeah, and they are going to lead their 404 medic through the left side here. Kind of curious, but there, he relinks with a demo on the point here. Jarrett's going to go down, and that will probably be the end of it there, as Swift secures yet another round in their favor. So that will take us to 4-2. And that we have a minute 30. I would say, theoretically, Velocity could get another round just for playoff purposes, but the match is likely over.
And we'll see what they can do with this. Marmdog, nice little skip jump through the garage door. It would get in front of the point. Garbugi getting taken out by Nuck. Well, immediately, the big rotation from Swift is getting on top of the enemy team's house, but Velocity are currently flooding in and around, completely collapsing on what remains of Swift. And this actually could be, like you said, the grounds for a round, but they're very short on time, and they haven't even gotten the cap. They need to not only kill, they don't even need to kill 4-4, they need to leave him alone and finish the mid cap if they wanted to get it around, but no, it looks like that's going to be the end of it. They're calling early GGs. 4-4 is playing a nice little surf game, staying alive as much as he can, dancing around these players, an extra little taunt on top of everything else that's come about from Swift, currently leading this game 4-2.
Yep, so then we have now entered the garbage zone where we try to boost our stats as much as possible. The Uber has popped off, because if you don't use it, you lose it. It doesn't get counted in your stats.
So let's break it down. There's not much else to talk about here. That's the end of it. Velocity, wipe Swift, one little courtesy prize for them, but that's gonna be it. So what does this boil down to, Marxist? Obviously the second half speaks everything. The first half was very even back and forth, but Swift with a convincing 3-0. After a long first game, they had a convincing 3-0. 2 rounds back to back.
Well, I'm aware that my internet seems to be getting destroyed, so if I turn into a robot, I am sorry. The big factor there was the mids were just going very strongly in Swift's favor, and some misplays from Velocity where I think they chose the wrong tactics for the situation that they were in when they were still winning that match. I brought a lot of attention to that 2 players forward play that they did when they were still winning and held mid. And I just don't agree with that. when you're winning, you have all the time in the world to do whatever you want to do, and you don't need to do desperate plays or risky, sneaky plays. I commend them for trying, but that's just not what you need to do as part of the overall package of what your match is going to be. And SVIFT just ended up winning 2 quick mids there, and then getting themselves back together, and that was pretty much the end of the match there, especially after that second one. That was the nail in the coffin. But I'll look at some stats here if you want to, Ro. Just to summarize.
Sure, Marxist. What do you go? Let's pull up these stats, man. Although one thing I really want to point out is every player broke the 10K mark. 4-4, however, 900 DPM, buddy. Step it up. Even Bear broke the 1,000 mark. Like, come on.
Yep.
But outside of the big damage coming in from both teams, really solid damage overall. These are some good numbers to see. It's just it was so back and forth. The first was so even and so careful with the deaths. They were pretty small, pretty even, and almost tripled in the second half, back and forth. And yeah, SVIFT really good showing in that second half.
Yeah, they really got it together there. Your King Fraggers of the night, it's actually a tie. Shamu was surpassed by his teammate Nook, and ties with Slemnish, who, as if you might recall, was a carbon copy of Sizz, but 1 kill less. Eventually grew to surpass Sizz and get several more frags. So he got it together there. Nuck and Sizz are and Slemnish are gonna end up tying for King Fragger. Your top damager of the night is actually gonna switch off of Shamu as well and go to shotgun wielding high five. Would you look at that?
What is the amazement of high five on shotgun exactly?
I'm just happy because he
happy,
got that
man.
DPM on shotgun. So, and then the saddest sad zone of the night is a tie between Marmadog and Garbuglio, which is expected. Both roamers dying 39 times in all complete total. I don't really see a great deal of difference between the two. They except for Marmadog ends out with slightly less damage, 40 DPM less, which is pretty negligible.
Yeah, low impact, you know. But
so there we are. That is SVIFT versus Velocity. SVIFT did not have their English sensation, but I'd say Sizz filled in quite well for them.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there
But
to
anyways,
say?
do you have anything else, Ro? Yeah.
No, not really, no. That was a really good game. I very even first half, very even second half with that first round. And then SVIFT putting into first gear, third gear, fourth gear, whatever gear works, you know.
Yeah, high gear. There you go.
High gear.
That's all we need. It's like
is that supposed to be a play on words with tie gear? No? Okay, that's where we cut it off. No more.
That's where we're going. Anyway, so tomorrow night, which will be a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, what we will be bringing you here on Team Fortress TV at the same Team Fortress time, 11 p.m. Eastern. We will be bringing you Ascent versus Velocity tomorrow at 11. Corn Pop and Ro, who you heard here tonight, will be your casters. Gabe will be on production, and it will be another Metalworks match. So you'll see the losers of tonight's match versus Ascent.
We got that lineup for you guys tomorrow. It's going to be very exciting. Ascent, seeing where they're at and seeing where Velocity is going to be at tomorrow as well. Coming off this loss, even though they had a pretty good lead, it is Metalworks, so maybe they've got a few tricks up their sleeve, especially with Nuck on that sniper. A lot of stuff to look forward to, so hopefully we'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. I've been Ro. Console, thank you again for your camera work with us this season. We'll look forward to more of you, and Marxist as well. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.